Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Inside Edge with Rick and Ryan.
What's going on, guys? We had a week off because I graduated college and was doing pretty much everything that you could possibly think of, but we're back. So let's get down into the good stuff.
Yes, sir. So it's going to be another baseball episode this week, guys. Nothing much going around in other sports that are like big time things. We just had the Players Championship in golf, but other than that, we're going to focus on baseball today. We're going to start it off kind of the same format as last week. We're going to go over some young guys, some veterans, some big injuries, and then we're going to talk about who's hot and who's not. So it's going to be a quicker one this week once again, but it's going to be good. So we're going to start it off. Rick, you want to kick us off?
Sure. What are we going with first?
So we got Shohei Ohtani, the young guns.
Ohtani.
This is going to be a pretty repetitive little topic.
Yeah, so this is going to be I have to talk about every week because this guy has yet to stop. He just set the Angels record today, Sunday, the 3rd, May the 13th, for dicing up 11 people. That is apparently a record for the ball club.
Yeah, dude is nasty. Seems like he's getting better. He hit a no-doubter to left center as well this week. The dude is still on a tear. Still looks like he's having a good time out there too, which is great.
Yeah, no, he's always smiling. It's good to see someone that's from a different country having a good time and just looks like he's enjoying himself playing the sport that everyone wants to see.
Yeah, it's great for baseball right now. I think he's awesome. Next, so you guys all know.
He's still, one sec before you go over there, he's still slashing just under 350 right now, hitting wise. So
yeah, he's not hitting every day either. They're giving him like a day or two off after he pitches. He's still able to hit, which is
he's starting to get a little bit more ABs in there now, but it's still like pretty unreal.
Yeah. So you guys all know Vladimir Guerrero, Hall of Famer inductee this past year, I believe, or maybe it's 2 years ago. I'm not sure 100%. But his son, you guys didn't know, he's the number one prospect in baseball now since Ohtani and Acuna are brought up. He's numero uno. Dude is unbelievable.
I don't know how he's not in the league yet, honestly. There's so much hype around the dude. He's hitting like what, close to 370 in the minors right now or something.
Last I looked, it was 398. I'm not exactly sure what he did the last couple of days, but it was 398. He hit a home run off a hotel. He did an MLB special this last week where he was literally hitting Oppo on a tee, and he was literally like, I'm gonna try to hit this one out, and then he hits a home run Oppo off a tee. Like
just complete raw talent. I mean, the guy is gonna be really good. I don't know what the Blue Jays are waiting on. Like there's got to be somewhere in that lineup. They've lost like 7 out of 10 right now. They need to get something going.
I mean, some kind of electric because they don't really have anyone. Like Donaldson's still their big name, but he's not really living up to it.
He's on and off being hurt. So without that, there's really no one. They got rid of every one of their big bats other than him.
Yeah, but this dude's looking unbelievable. I was comparing his stats with his dad's when he was in the minors, and he blows him out of the water, honestly. Like Vlad Sr., he was hitting like, he had 1 year, he hit like 320 with like 25 home runs or something. But, man, Vlad Jr., he looking like he could be a replica of his dad with more power, potentially, if that's even possible.
Yeah.
Swing is so smooth.
He's going to be good. I mean, yeah, what Ryan just said, I've been talking about it for a while. He's got like a pitcher perfect swing. I know it's like pretty common nowadays with these younger guys coming in. They all have such good looking swings, but I don't know. His hands are just raw. He's so quick to the ball.
Yeah, it's unreal. The bat just makes a little bit different sound too when he's hitting.
Literally, it sounds so good. It's like the sound that you hear off the really big name guys in the league when they're at the top of their game. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's awesome to see. Next on the list, we got Nomar Mazara. If you guys know who this guy is, he's kind of a little under the radar. second-year player for the Rangers. This dude is unreal. I watched the MLB Network special on him this week, and he's a ton of hype behind him last year. Didn't really live up to it too much. Started off hot, kind of like he's doing right now, but he's hitting 290 with 10 bombs, and dude is swinging it.
Yeah, I haven't really followed him like a whole ton. Like I knew he kind of flaked out last year, but I was surprised to see he had 10 bombs this year. I think his swing is a little out of control from what I've seen.
Oh, he swings out of his ass.
So I don't really see the 290 sticking around for the whole season, but he's definitely going to be able to put up the power. He's hitting with Joey Gallo every day, so
he's kind of got a similar stance to Gallo too. He's got a really wide one, but he's hitting lefties this year a lot better. He was kind of.
Okay, keep going.
He was kind of like Jake Lamb, where he hit like a $120 off lefties last year, and he's swinging and he's hitting for power off lefties now, and that's why his batting average is so much better.
Another fun fact about that: did you see that shift they put on Joey Gallo the other day? The Astros. They didn't even put a third baseman on the left side. He was literally behind second base. Bregman was behind second base. And he still didn't bunt.
I don't get it. Literally,
he could have literally bunted for a double.
I don't get it. Like, why don't they just practice bunting like all day? Like
seriously,
that's one free hit a game at least if you do that. If you're able to get it down.
Literally, if he doesn't hit a home run situation, he's not getting on. There's literally 9 people in right field.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, so that wraps it up pretty much for the young guys. We're going to talk a little bit about some, we call them veterans, but some of them aren't even that old. Just people that have been in the league. We got to talk about Pujols hitting his 3,000th hit this past week. Super impressive, and in my opinion, the best hitter in the last 20 years. Yeah,
he was my favorite player growing up ever since playing backyard baseball, baby. He's just like, I don't know, man. He's the machine. There's literally, growing up, there's been no better hitter out there. He averaged a 330 slash like his whole career up until he got, 2 years into the Angels, and he got hurt constantly. He's really struggled with injuries. So the 3,000 hits probably would have came sooner, but it's not surprising. He's so good.
Yeah. Like you said, he's the machine. I remember when he was with the Cardinals back in the day, he would literally say he'd take like 1,000 swings off a tee a day, like until his hand started bleeding. Like it was insane. He's still 304 lifetime, I think, and he hasn't hit over 300 in the last 8 years. Like that's how good he was with the Cardinals. Still hitting 100 RBIs, I think, every other year he's been with the Angels. So like he's still producing. He's not putting up the 330, obviously, but he's still hitting 30 bombs, 100 RBIs pretty much close to every year. I just don't see anyone that compares. A-Rod compares, but he had his whole steroid scandal. So, that kind of eliminates him, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. Pujols is
Beltre was good.
But
Guerrero
still,
was good.
But still not even in the same ballpark.
I think he's the second person ever to have 600 home runs and 3,000 hits. I think that was a stat.
Yeah, him and who was it? Griffey doesn't have 3,000 hits, does he?
Mm-mm.
Well, whoever it was, yeah, I remember seeing that too. But it's pretty impressive. I wouldn't count out 700 home runs for him, honestly.
Yeah, if he wants to keep playing, he's gonna keep hitting them out.
As long as he can stay healthy a whole season, he's gonna hit probably close to 30 home runs, which means 3 more years. He's really not that old. He just kind of has had, what is he, 37?
Mm-hmm.
In baseball years, that's not that old. Ichiro's 43.
Yeah. I saw this tweet. So. Brad Ziegler tweeted at him. I don't know if it was at him, but he tweeted a picture. They both went to the same junior college, and it was pretty much like, cheers to this, 700 coming up next. So, as far as he knows, at least, it doesn't seem like he's going to retire anytime soon.
Yeah. Should be cool. Let's move on to the next guy now.
You might know him as the Dark Knight for a little bit, but that's kind of faded.
Biggest disappointment in New York history right here.
Matt Harvey.
Yeah, I'll get into him.
So, everyone knows before Thor or Noah Syndergaard, as you might say, and Jacob deGrom came in, he was the dude. He was the ace in New York. It was every fifth start. It was the Batman's freaking start. Ace coming out. He's gonna throw a no hitter, do something dumb, just be
Yeah, I
awesome.
mean, he was like the original hard thrower. Like I remember, well, everyone throws 96 now plus as a starter, it seems like. But when he first came up in the league, everyone was like, "How's this guy doing this? Like, why is he throwing so hard?" But then obviously more and more people are doing it now. But I don't, dude's dog crap now. He's bad.
Yeah. So, but the reason we're bringing him up, he got traded recently to the Reds for Devin Mesoraco. I think that was a great trade for the Mets. Honestly, he's just been a bunch of drama since he's not the number one anymore. He's getting overshadowed by not one but two pitchers. And I think like this past year, he was just butthurt. It seemed like he was missing team events and just causing drama, not pitching great, and making excuses up for it pretty much. But they needed a catcher, and Mesoraco, he's solid. He's one of the better hitting catchers.
Yeah, no, that I think the Reds actually won that, or the Mets won that trade. I mean, if he can come back to his form, I don't see it happening. He just kind of throws fastballs down the middle. But
First start against the Dodgers in 4 innings, no runs. It was pretty good. I mean, he looked decent, so maybe maybe they'll revive his career, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. He's got the talent, obviously. He still needs a third pitch. His doesn't really have a third pitch.
Yeah. Another guy who compares the Pujols though is the next one we're talking about when we say best hitter in the last 20 years is Ichiro.
Best singles hitter of all time.
Oh yeah, best singles hitter of all time. If he had power, I would compare him to Pujols, but he doesn't. I think the most home runs he hit in a year was like 16 or 17.
People can argue with me all they want. If Ichiro started his career in the major leagues, he would have the most hits in MLB history.
Yep.
100%. Like the dude has like 4,700 hits or something in his career.
Yeah, it's insane.
Between
3,000 in the MLB.
Yeah, way over 3,000 actually now.
Yeah, it's like 3,800, I think.
I don't know how many he has,
but yeah, he retired. I was a little shocked on it. I thought that him coming into Seattle was gonna be like try to like revive your career, maybe just like show up in your hometown. I mean, technically his hometown in America. But he retired. He moved to the front office. I think he's actually bench coach now.
Really?
Yeah, the other day they had a picture of him and said, "Who's your bench coach?" And it was a picture of Ichiro. So I don't know. I can't confirm for sure, but
I mean, why not? I mean, the dude probably loves baseball still. I mean, he's 43 years old. He obviously is over the hump. He has 3,100 hits in the MLB. I mean, someone's going to teach you baseball, and obviously they want him on the team. I mean, I'm sure they want to. I heard he's a great teammate. He's fun to be around, so why not? Bench coach doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So sticking with the Mariners, the next guy we're going to talk about, James Paxton. I mean, as you all know, he threw a no-hitter in his last start. He did great, but
off to a rough start this year too.
Yeah, he started off
what he did last year.
Started off kind of bad. He's their ace. He's supposed to be their ace. He had a little bit of injuries last year, but he threw no hitters last start. And the start before that, even he had 16 strikeouts, which I thought was really impressive. But
his velo's back. He was at the start of the year. He wasn't really having his velo as much. He was sitting in the lower 90s, and the dude hit 100 in the ninth inning of his no-hitter. So
it was really impressive. 9 innings, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. He was dominant. It was insane. I think the Blue Jays are being a little. I think the Blue Jays are being a little too aggressive, but.
I mean, yeah, wasn't he under 100 pitches in a no-hitter?
Yeah,
that's unheard of.
It was like he might have touched 100 in the last inning, but it was.
I think it was 98. I'm pretty sure it's 98 pitches.
Okay, that sounds right. But yeah, in the last inning, you want to break up the perfect game or no hitter, and they swing 2 out of the 3 outs were first pitch outs. I was like, what? Make this dude work.
Yeah, no, that's too easy.
It was a great start though. Second no hitter of the year, following Sean Manaea. No perfect games yet. We'll see if this rest of the season has in store for us.
As you know, those don't come as easy. So you never expect when there's 20 something all time in MLB history.
Yeah.
Last time I remember hearing 21 a couple times ago, but so it's got to be in the low 20s still, mid 20s.
Yeah. So moving on to our next topic, we got to talk a little bit about Bryce Harper. What's up with him, Rick?
Bryce Harper's had a lot of the big names this year, he's had kind of a rough start to the year. He started off super hot in the first month, but then has really slowed down.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think he hit 8 or 9 bombs in the first month.
I think in the first week. I mean, literally, I played against him in my fantasy league, and I was like, great, first week, Bryce Harper. Guess he's gonna win MVP this year. Dude's down to like 240 roughly.
Yeah, 237, 12 bombs, which he's been stuck
Leading the
at for
league
like
in
2
walks.
weeks now.
Leading the league in walks. Him and Goldschmidt are both struggling at the plate, but they're still getting walked a billion times.
Yeah,
So I mean,
Harper still has 41 walks. They moved him up in the order to try to get his bat going, get more at bats. It seemed like it was going to work at first because he hit 2 home runs right away as a leadoff hitter.
yeah,
I think he hit 1 leadoff home run and then he hit another one.
they're trying to force the teams to throw to him. It's pretty much what they're trying to do because he already, like we were saying, he's leading the league in walks, and if you're not getting thrown to, it's hard to come out of a slump.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's starting off slow. We'll see what happens with him. Him and Goldie, I think, are the big ones. Goldie is another guy that is hitting around 220 right now. Off to a pretty bad start, but they'll come around. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure both of them do just fine.
Next person we got to talk about, Mookie Betts. He's the best player in baseball right now.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. He is very good at outfield. So that's just the defensive part of the game, which not a lot of people take a look at because everyone's like, Mookie Betts, he can hit. But he's really good at that. He's hitting for power randomly this year. Don't know like where that came from. He's hit 20 and 30 home run years before, but the dude's already got 13. So
yeah, we'll see what happens with that. He's hitting 356 right now. Doesn't get walked that much. He's got 17 walks, decent amount, but yeah, 356 leads the league. 13 bombs leads the league. Still.
leads the league in every category except for like on base percentage or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
And RBIs because he hits different spots in the order, doesn't he?
He hits leadoff.
Yeah, I was gonna say he hits
Ever since
leadoff.
I think he hit 2 or 3 last year, but now they have JD Martinez, so he just leads off for him. I think JD Martinez is actually probably helping him out over there because
Yeah, JD's going off right now. He's on fire.
Yeah.
Because he's like hitting like three.
He was hitting 340, 345 the other day I looked. Yeah, he's on fire. Yeah, the Boston team's pretty good.
Yeah, they can play some ball over there.
Jump into the same division to their rivals. We got the Yankees. As they are on fire,
oh my God.
your boy Didi.
I'm sorry. I just have seen too many people saying Didi Gregorius MVP, Didi Gregorius MVP, best shortstop in the league, Didi Gregorius this, Didi Gregorius this, because he had a great start to the year. A lot of people do it. But the dude went out and dropped his average, almost 100 points without getting a hit.
He went 0 for 30 and then went 1 for 6. So he's 1 for his last 36 before today's game.
Something crazy.
He's down to 268 though. He went from about 340 to 268. He hasn't hit any home runs. He has 30 RBIs, which is still good, but
it's just the way baseball works. Like I feel all those people out there are acting like, oh, he figured something out that's gonna make him a much better player. Like he's did this, he's done this. No, he's been in the league long enough to like know what we're expecting out of him. And on a good year, he's gonna hit like 290.
Yep.
It's just what it is. I mean, on a good year, he's gonna hit around 290 if he has a really good year. So obviously he's gonna slump. But at one point or the other, baseballs just don't fall for some reason in the sport. And it doesn't matter how hard you hit them, how many good at bats you have, you're just gonna run into a slump. I think Derek Jeter, the greatest shortstop in Yankee history, went like 0 for 31 once, 32 once, something crazy.
Yeah. Goldschmidt's twice this year gone 4 for 30. So like slumps happen. We'll see if he can bounce back. He's been getting better every year of his career, so Yankees need it. I mean, technically they don't, but based on how many games they're winning, but
their pitching's carrying them right now. Super hard.
Before we get into the who's hot, who's not teams this week, let's talk about a couple injuries. The most recent was today. Robinson Cano fractured his hand. Rick, how did that happen?
He got hit by a pitch and he fractured his hand, and they're saying possible surgery. That is not looking good for the Mariners, who are hoping to squeeze their way into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, the Mariners have been hot this year, and Cano's been kind of leading the way offensively. Nelson Cruz has been good, and so has obviously Mitch Haniger and Ben Gamel and stuff. They've been fine, but Robinson Cano's kind of had a
That's the
comeback
big
year.
guy. That's
Yeah.
the big guy right there.
He
If he's
hit-
swinging it, he's the smoothest swing in baseball. Like if he's swinging it, like
There's no stopping him.
there's no stopping. It's just beautiful watching the guy. He's the smoothest guy in the league. The way he plays defense, the way he hits, he's just got that vibe in him. Just says he's just fun to watch. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's a big loss. And then last week, since we didn't have a podcast, for anyone that didn't know, Corey Seager for the Dodgers, he's out for the year. With
Yeah,
Tommy John.
that's he. I blame the Dodgers organization on this one. Honestly, I really do. He had that arm issue last year in the playoffs, and they pushed him through, saying, "Oh, I need to play in the playoffs." Blah blah blah. I mean, the way he was playing last year, he didn't play like spectacular. They should have sat him down, let him get healthy, and then get back into it. And then his arm started bugging him again this year. So then he kept trying to play through it.
Like, I understand last year playing in the postseason. I understand that.
I get
But,
it
like,
too, but he's young, man.
Maybe he tore it that UCL this year or what, but how do they not just do it in the offseason and maybe have him for the playoffs this
That's
year?
what I'm. Because no one wants to go out there and say I need Tommy John surgery, but I don't know. As a first baseman and like working with infielders my whole life, every shortstop arm hurts at one time or another.
You get the
So I'm
most
sure
action.
it's the farthest throw in the field, and they just throw the ball a ton in like spring training and stuff. So and that's when your arm's not in great shape. They're still working with that because that's when they're taking their most ground balls. I mean, I don't know exactly what they're doing in their pregame rituals and whatnot, but who knows? He could be one of those guys that's like, I want to field and throw 100 ground balls before a game. I don't know what his ritual is, but
Man, they all work on their backhands and throw it deep in the hole.
throw from weird arm angles. I mean, it's not surprising. I'm surprised someone like Andrelton Simmons hasn't come out with like Tommy John because the dude throws the ball 100 miles an hour across the diamond.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's weird to see it from a position player, but I'm not surprised because it's his history.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much concludes it for injuries this week. Nothing crazy else has hit that I can think of.
Danny Farquhar is out of the hospital now.
True.
So-
Danny Farquhar, who had that, what was it, brain aneurysm?
Yeah.
Is that what it was technically?
It was technically an aneurysm that led to a hemorrhage. So he's out of the hospital and in stable condition.
Yeah.
They're thinking that the goal is to have him pitch again someday.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, hopefully
They
this year.
said
but
probably not this year, but they didn't
Yeah.
rule it out.
actually, I think they might have officially ruled it out now that I think about
Did
it.
they?
They might have said that he's done, and they're not. Just don't want to push any buttons.
Yeah.
It's a brain. I mean, you can't. It's not a ligament in your arm. It's a
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah. So let's jump into our who's hot, who's not. The who's hot's pretty obvious right now. We start off with the Twins. They've won everything 8 out of 10. They won 5 straight before
Yeah,
their
they're
loss
coming off.
a couple days ago.
Yeah, they're coming off a really rough stretch as well. So I mean, it's how baseball works. I mean, if you go through a rough stretch, there's a good chance you're going to come back and win a few games here and there. Like right now, the Nationals, they had a 3-game series against the D-backs. They had 2 series off, and they got to go back to the D-backs. People are like, "Oh my God, the D-backs are losing games." It's like, do you really expect like the D-backs to beat Scherzer twice, beat Strasburg twice? Like,
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
realistically, those are 20-game winners. I mean,
Yeah, but to stay on the topic of the Twins, Eddie Rosario's been a beast for them. He's been carrying them the last couple games, like this stretch.
he's a stud, dude.
He's hitting 290 with 9 bombs and 27 RBIs. Anyone that's up at 30 RBIs already is having a huge year.
Well, Buxton's going off for him too. I mean,
Yeah, Buxton's turning around.
he had a rough start to the year, but not like he's having a great year so far. He's hitting still under 200, but he's bringing that electricness back to the team. He had a single yesterday and broke it into a double. I mean, it was like a lazy single to left field, and he turned it into a double.
Yeah, dude's on fire. Lomo, I think he's hit a few more home runs this week, but he's still not doing anything crazy. Sano's been hurt. Dozier, he's been hitting out a little bit more. He's back. He's up to 255 now. I know he was sitting around 220.
Escobar's Escobar's the guy.
Eduardo Escobar has got to be the most underrated shortstop in the league. That dude is good.
So far this year. Yeah, he is really good, and he's awesome defensively. Is what he's been known for. But then now he's slashing like 280.
Yeah, 280 with 7 bombs, 20 RBIs. I remember Dozier was being interviewed, and he goes, "Who's someone on your team that you need to watch out for? Like, who does no one know about?" And he was like, "Eduardo Escobar. The dude's a beast." And I mean, he's showing it. Got 16 doubles already.
He's just raw, straight raw.
Yeah. Next we got the Yankees. I don't want to say the effing Yankees, but it is what it is. The Yankees have, what is it now? what is it, like 19 of 20? 20 of 21?
Something stupid like that. They had some really tough series in the middle of all this too. They had the Astros, they had the Red Sox, and they had
the Indians.
The Indians.
And the Angels.
Yeah. So
they're playing some good teams too. So like this is no fluke right now. Dude, you got to talk about Aaron Judge. This dude is a monster. The dude can handle the stick. Hitting 311, 11 bombs, 35 RBIs.
Leading the team in every hitting category.
When that dude is going, it seems like their whole offense is. I don't know if it's just because he's a good dude and like I don't know, when he's like, it's rare to see him get pumped up, and when he does, I just like I don't know.
Yeah,
I love
it. The young guys are doing well too. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, Torres is still hitting like 300.
320. Gleyber Torres tearing it up.
Yep, and then Andujar or whatever, however you pronounce his name. Andujar. Yeah, I really like sat down and like looked into him the other day. That dude's got an interesting swing. His bat is in the zone for so long. It's kind of goofy, but like he's a stud. I think he's gonna be able to hit whatever comes his way.
Seems like every time Sanchez gets a hit now, it's a home run, which I mean helps. I know last year when the Yankees won is pretty much when they hit home runs. Another thing with that same statement, Brett Gardner's been tearing it up this past week. I know last year I think it was like they were like 13-0 when Brett Gardner went deep or something. But yeah, he came up with some huge hits. I know he had a tying our 2-run triple against the Red Sox in like the 8th inning the other day. It was crazy. They're great, man. But Aaron Judge is the one that's really surprising me. Stanton's hitting better. He's up to 250 now. He's slowly climbing. Hit another bomb today.
Yeah, Stan.
Stan went 4 for 4 with a bomb today.
Yeah, I mean, Stan's gonna do what Stan's gonna do.
Severino's a beast, though.
He's already back up to 250. If he didn't have a giant slump at the beginning, he's probably hitting 270, 280, and that's like where he's sat his whole career.
I was wrong about Severino. I thought this year would be like his like sophomore slump kind of deal, because I mean, I think it's his 3rd year in the league, but it's like his 2nd full established year.
As long as he has that fastball coming in, he's not going to get touched. I mean,
I think he might have the best fastball in the league. Maybe not best fastball, but velocity wise from a starter.
Yeah, I mean he's got nasty movement on it. He's definitely top 5 for
Scherzer
fastballs.
has the best fastball.
Yeah, Scherzer's just dumb.
That. He just throws his fastball and beats people. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but he'll literally sit up to the mound and go, "I'm throwing this pitch. You're not hitting it. Like, good luck."
Yeah, but
Severino has some finesse to him.
Yeah, he's 6-1. He's doing pretty good. I have him on a fantasy team, so I'm happy with that. Then we got to touch on the Nationals really quick, as we just talked about Max Scherzer. He's won.
They're red hot.
Yeah. They've won 8 out of their last 10. Kind of seems like they're clicking. I know Trey Turner's had a big week. He's been stealing bases like absolutely no one's business. I'm gonna double check right now, but I think
they can't stay healthy, man. Every time they get one person back, someone else goes to the DL. I think it was Zimmerman just went to the DL again.
Once they got Rendon back, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Rendon's a giant. Like if he's in the lineup, their team is a completely different team.
Howie Kendrick's done well for him though. He's a great fill-in. I mean,
he's fill-in. I mean, he's their starting second baseman, isn't he? Or he's
playing. Yeah, he's playing the outfield.
Yeah, he's a utility guy.
He's all over the place. He's hitting 294 for them. He's been really good.
That guy's been underrated his whole career. Honestly, he's always done good, Like he's been on big teams too, and no one really talks about him too much.
Mm-hmm. Matt Adams is raking, dude. He's got 10 bombs, hitting 275. I think that was the best acquisition they could have done last year.
Yeah, they definitely. Well, especially now that Ryan Zimmerman's been hurt. I mean, it's nice being able to put a guy in there and be like, because originally he was pretty much picked up as a possible like pinch hit guy. Because where else is he going to play? Ryan Zimmerman just came off the best year of his career. He was originally.
Zimmerman played third base at one point, but then you got Rendon, so it's like
exactly you can't really.
They've been hiding Adams in left field, and I've seen some funny highlights because he sucks at outfield.
He's bad.
Like,
see, that's what I want to see someone like the D-backs do with Christian Walker. I mean, realistically, you don't got to be great. Can you catch a pop fly? All right, go out there. I mean, as long as you're producing.
Yeah, but you got Trey Turner leading off for you. He gets on, you got a chance to score. He's got 12 stolen bases. He actually has a decent amount of walks. He's 26 walks, and he's got 43 hits. He's having a good year. It surprised me that he's only hitting 270 with 43 hits, but
it's because he got like 10 of them this week.
Yeah. Yeah, Nationals are red hot, going for the 4-game sweep against the D-backs tonight. I'm about to start here in a couple of minutes, but that's that.
Yeah.
So then we're going to talk real quick about who's not hot this week. We got to talk about the Mets real fast. What do you got, Rick?
The Mets are playing bad baseball. I mean, you thought maybe getting rid of Matt Harvey, they'd get rid of some of that drama that New York brings, but he's been pretty rough. I mean, they've been rough. DeGrom just came off the DL too. I think he threw today for the first time. And I don't know. They're just it's just not clicking.
Yeah,
they're not swinging it. Their pitching is just doing all right, but they're not swinging it.
Yeah, their pitching's fine. Steven Matz is still under a 4. Gesellman's is 4-0 somehow with a 3-1. Syndergaard's not really getting too much run support. He has a 3.0 and he's 2-1. But yeah, it's their hitting. We were talking about their hitting the other week, how they have professional at bats, but Asdrubal Cabrera is really the only one that they can really depend on right now. Cespedes
was ice cold last week. He was killing it, and then everyone was always like, when Cespedes stops hitting, they're gonna start losing.
Well, he has all their RBIs. I don't have any RBI guys. Asdrubal Cabrera has 23. Adrian Gonzalez has 20, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Cespedes is that big bat that's supposed to drive in runs.
Frazier's hurt again, so I mean.
Yeah. Jay Bruce hasn't been hitting very good either. He's hitting 230.
That's what he's gonna hit though. At this point in his career, he's just swinging for home runs, and he's not hitting them. So.
Conforto's terrible this year too.
Yeah,
I think he's been up and down with injuries, but
that's really what they're going through right now. They're really going through some injuries. I mean, I was surprised to see how good they were doing at the start of the year, but injuries are definitely knocking them right now. It's knocking their legs out a little bit sooner than I thought they were.
Yeah, we'll see. I definitely don't see. I mean, with what they've done already, how hard they've crashed, I don't see them making the playoffs.
Yeah.
It looked like maybe they could shock the division, but I mean, the Nationals are already back up.
With the Phillies playing the way they are, I don't see the Mets making the playoffs.
Yeah, the Mets are already in 4th place. The Braves are winning that division right now, but it's really close. You got Phillies and Nationals 1 and 2 game back.
Yeah, that division randomly became like the hot division.
It's like almost the best division in baseball in the Braves.
Yeah,
Braves and Phillies.
And the Marlins aren't doing like completely awful for what they have. I mean, they're doing bad, but they're not like the worst team in baseball, like everyone pretty much figured after selling everyone.
Next we move on to the D-backs. We're D-backs fans. It's been a pretty hard to watch their games for me right now.
I mean, from a standpoint of a D-backs fan and a baseball standpoint, their pitching's great. We just lost the last 4 games by like 1 or 2, I think 2 runs max.
That's what makes it worse for me though. It's like
yeah, well, it's frustrating. Like on a pitching standpoint, it's good, but why the hell can't we hit? We've been a top 5 hitting team when we haven't had pitching. So now our pitchers are doing what they're supposed to do, and we can't hit.
Yeah, it's insane, man. 224 batting average. Marte's slowly moving up. He's still at 220. Ahmed's 216. Goldie's 216. Chris Owings 210. It's like David Peralta and AJ Pollock the only thing we got right now.
Honestly,
Descalso's done decent, but
I don't want to blame someone, but the coach honestly just switches the lineup so much that it's hard to get in a rhythm. I mean, I guess it's probably because Jake Land's been out. He's only played 4 games all year, which he's finally back doing his rehab assignment, so hopefully we can get him back next week.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
it's just stressful because when I see the D-backs losing 1-0 right now, it's like, oh, will they come back or not? Like, I actually have no idea.
Like our team right now feels like the Yankees of last year. It's like, if we don't hit a home run, we're not going to score.
Yep.
There's no good at-bats going around. I mean, the whole team's just in a slump. I mean,
yeah, the pitching is great. I mean, 3.0 as a team. It's got to be the best in the league.
Yeah,
like,
coming into this.
They've had a really hard schedule, too. AJ Pollock said something in our post-game interviews. Like, you guys can say all you want about our hitting, but, like, we're facing really good pitching right now.
Oh, yeah. They faced
and it's true. I mean,
Dodgers twice, Nationals twice, and the Astros.
Yeah, like, that's all happened this month. It's like, it's pretty crazy. They've been playing some really good competition. I'm glad that where they're at right now, though, honestly. I was looking at their schedule. They have a pretty easy schedule in June, so we'll see what happens with them. But they've just lost 4 in a row.
They lost their first series of the year, so that's pretty insane. It's like their 12th series of the year, and they just lost their first one.
Yeah. And then we got the Dodgers. We touched on them with Seager earlier, but they're kind of like in a spiral right now.
No, they're having the same issues the D-backs are. Their pitching is decent, but they can't hit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dave Roberts has been pissed lately.
Oh, he's been getting hot in the dugout.
He's very upset with his team, which I understand because, I mean, they have the exact same team as last year. They have some injuries, but they still have a good lineup. They're just not doing what they need to do. Matt
Kemp just slumped super hard this week, but he's still leading the team in hitting. So Cody Bellinger's doing what I figured he'd hit around 270, 280.
I'm at the point where it's like Bellinger, I feel like, is their guy they have to look to, and he's literally a second-year player. It's like, it's kind of sad.
Well, I think Matt Kemp is the guy they have to look to, just because, I mean, he kind of got kicked out of Dodgers originally, I guess, but I don't know. He's a guy that's been around the league for too long to be looked at as some old guy. I mean, he's hitting 317 with 5 runs.
I mean, it's almost to the point where it's the question really, are the Dodgers just not that good? Because if you look at what they did last year, Bellinger hit 40 bombs. Chris Taylor had a breakout year.
They were just rolling off each other last year.
Yeah, like last year they had a bunch of breakout years, and that's how they say like World Series happened. Unfortunately for them, they came up short, but maybe they're just not as good this year. You never know coming into spring training. Like, is Kike Hernandez going to be complete trash? Is Chris Taylor going to be terrible? Like, a lot of these guys, like Bellinger, what's he going to do this year? You can't expect him to hit 40 home runs.
They're all young in their careers for the most part. That's why I thought the Matt Kemp signing was huge for them, because you're going to know you're going to get something decent. Yeah. They have a lot of unknowns, and then Justin Turner, who really is, if you watch them, he's the spark plug to that team. He's clutch, and he's still out. I mean,
he's always their guy to look to, it seems like. Puig's been terrible this year, too.
Puig's been awful, yeah. It's been really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one on their team has, like, great at-bats. None of them are really walking a whole bunch. Like, they just kind of go up there, and they're hacking. I mean.
Yeah, Matt Kemp's their best hitter. He only has 8 walks.
Exactly. He's never been a guy to walk, but
I don't know. We'll see. See what the rest of the season has in store. I still think they have a team to make the playoffs. I still think they do.
They have the pitching to make the playoffs and the moolah to sign. Because, I mean, last year, the only reason they were like that team was because they won, 38 out of 40 or something stupid like that?
They're saying that they're the front runners to get Machado at the deadline because they need a shortstop with Seager out.
Yeah, especially since they can deal some prospects since they have so many young guys.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, though. But that pretty much concludes it for this week, guys. If you guys liked our podcast today, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back next Sunday. We'll try to have a little bit better content. I know it's pretty similar to the week before, but we've been really busy, like Rick said, with graduation and stuff. So, thank you guys so much. Rick, you got anything before we head out?
Just follow us on Twitter. There we go. That way. Follow us on Twitter if you have any questions or whatnot. Ask us, throw us any tips or information that you guys think could help out the podcast. We appreciate it.
Yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week, and see ya.